Pep, good afternoon. Just wanted to ask a bit of reflection on the news today about Sean Dyche losing his job. What do you make of that?
Well, first a surprise. He's the longest manager in the last decade, so he made an incredible job in Burnley. I think we have a really good relation. Always was so intense in the touchline with the game, and I wish him, of course, all the best in the future, and hopefully soon can come back doing what he loves.
I wanted to ask a bit of a reflection as well now on Wednesday night, now that a couple of days have passed. Did you learn something new about your players that night that maybe you didn't know before?
No. I know my players perfectly after 6 seasons. So, no. But did I learn anything?
Even their fight at the end? Like the way
No,
they stood up to
it's
each
the
other?
past.
And I know you didn't say anything after the game, but have you looked at the footage in the tunnel?
I'm not talking about that.
Don't
It's
talk about
the
that.
past. So I'm sorry, but we have an important game tomorrow.
Okay, no problem. Someone told us this week that Jack Grealish has got a nickname within the Man City camp as Peaky Jack. Is that the case? Is he
don't know.
called that by the players?
In the place? Oh yeah?
I think it's a rumour.
Is it? Yeah? I don't know. I'm not in the locker room, so the only stories I'm not there.
I was wondering if you thought he kind of is a bit like that character, the way he's been.
It's incredible being loved. He joined the team in the locker room. He's a lovely lad, and he settled perfectly so quick to the team.
Now, after Wednesday night, obviously you mentioned there's been a couple of injuries. What's the latest news on Kevin De Bruyne and Kyle Walker?
Well, they didn't train today, and we'll see tomorrow. But apparently, will be so close. It's so close after what happened the game in Wednesday to be fit for tomorrow. But we will wait tomorrow.
And Ruben Diaz, could he potentially
He trained
start?
today. He trained today. Yeah, it's the third training session with us, and it's already in the dynamic of our team.
Final one from me on Liverpool. You've played twice this season, both games 2-2. Can you and Jurgen potentially surprise each other, or do you not think that's possible anymore because you know them, you know each other so
I'm
well?
going to tell you something. The managers don't surprise anything. Surprise the football players. Jurgen and myself don't play. We cannot play. So you overprice the managers and our decisions, but the surprise in the actions belongs to the players, not for us.
Thanks, Pep.
Hi. You mentioned that you were in big trouble due to the injuries after Wednesday night, and given Liverpool resting players on Wednesday, do you think this game is actually more harder for you and your side compared to last week? Or?
No, always is hard semi-finals the FA Cup against this side. Even being the top players fit or more time to rest will be tougher. So it's what it is. So I learned through the years as a manager, when you arrive in the last stages for all competitions, you adapt and adjust the schedules and everything. So you want to complain to have a net, like just in case the situation is wrong, is bad, or you don't win, you have a big mistake. So it's what it is. So I would prefer, all the managers in this situation where you have a lot of games, now situation, but what it is.
Jack Grealish was watching Paul Gascoigne's documentary last night. He posted on his Instagram story. Obviously, I reckon he's looking for inspiration given Paul Gascoigne's famous semi-final goal against Arsenal in 91. I just wanted to ask, do you see similarities in his game with Paul? And do you think tomorrow is an opportunity for Jack to step up?
I don't know. You know better than me Paul Gascoigne and his career, fantastic career as a football player. For his charisma was there. But I think it's a good documentary to watch. And now we had time because we are together for many days without our families. So and the guys decided to watch it. It's okay. It's good.
And you've spent the afternoon at Millwall today. I just wanted to ask, what do you make of their facilities? And given the club's notorious reputation as being a hard club to beat, and they usually do well in the FA Cup.
No, of course, on behalf of Man City, or me as a manager, so more than grateful, and thank you so much for the Millwall Football Club to allow us to use this incredible football pitch, because it was in perfect conditions. Congratulations for the groundskeeper and being here in the room like dedicated Paul Giggles, that was a legend in the journalist in all England, and unfortunately passed away from few weeks ago, and I know the thing is the funeral is soon.
It was on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, so yeah, it was a lovely day in London, so it was a perfect. Thank you so much for Millwall for help us to be able to train, because we didn't have place, and we asked them, and we owe them once. So if one day come to Manchester, we'll allow them to train our, of course, facilities.
And just a final one from me. You experienced a semi-final loss last season against Chelsea. Did you think that mental scars that the players have actually helped your side? Because they don't want to experience the same again.
Well, in 6 seasons we are together, we reached 5 semi-finals of the FA Cup. That is an incredible achievement. It's really good. That means, again, consistency. But we didn't perform much well in this game, especially Arsenal against Mikel and the other ones. Last season was quite similar, like today. Like we won in Dortmund, we qualified for semi-finals. We traveled in 3 days. We had Chelsea here. It's the same situation, and hopefully we can perform a little bit better than it happened last season against Chelsea. They were a little bit flat, especially in the first half. And when the second half we tried to push them, we did it, but it was difficult to break the defensive system from Chelsea. But yeah, we had a chance to be here to reach the final FA Cup, the most historical tournament than years ago. So the FA Cup was apparently more important than the Premier League or the league. So I know how nice it is that game, and tomorrow, with both fans, both teams, try to do a good game.
Hola Pepe, Guillermo Raimundo para el Jurgen. Lo primero, felicitarte por el pase a semifinales, que no he tenido oportunidad de felicitarte a semifinales de la Champions. Y hablando de esto, ya sé que has dicho que era el pasado, pero hay mucho debate ahora en general en los partidos con el tiempo que se pierde, los minutos que se pierden. También lo habéis padecido en Manchester City en la Premier, os pasó con el Crystal Palace. Me gustaría saber ¿cuál es tu opinión respecto a esto? Y si crees que la solución es que se pare el tiempo de los partidos.
No sé cuál es la solución, pero depende del árbitro. Básicamente depende.
Me refería, si es a tiempo parado, ¿crees que es una buena solución, como se hace en el baloncesto?
Pues no lo sé. Pero los partidos durarían igual 3 o 4 horas. No lo sé, la verdad es que no tengo mucha opinión de ello.
Vale, y la última para mí, Benzema está en un estado de forma formidable, sé que no es el siguiente partido, pero os lo vais a encontrar en 11 días. Me gustaría saber cuál es tu opinión de sus últimos partidos, en general de la temporada que está haciendo, y si encajaría en el Manchester City.
No por lo que está haciendo, le avala su trayectoria. Le creo más de 10 años en el Real Madrid, y cuando un jugador delantero está más de 10 años en el Real Madrid, pues porque tiene algo especial, un don especial. Tú puedes hacer unas buenas temporadas, que la está haciendo, no solo en su calidad de goles, sino en cómo juega, pero básicamente su trayectoria. La trayectoria es lo que más le admiro de él.
¿Y por el estilo de juego?
Jan.
Okay, thank you guys. We're going to do some questions on the Zoom. We're going to start with Mike McGrath.
Hi Pep.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Hi.
Hi. Does Zach Steffen start in goal tomorrow, in keeping with the competition this season that you played in goalkeeper?
I'm going to think about it. So I still have to speak tonight after training with the doctors, the physios. how is the physical condition for many players, and tonight, tomorrow morning earlier, we'll decide the lineup. But of course, in the FA Cup, normally play Zach and have options to happen tomorrow.
Do you think physically your squad is ready, is capable for this next 5 weeks of intensity? It seemed that Wednesday did take a lot out of them, especially in the second half.
It's what it is. It's what it did. Looks like if I give an argument, I'm trying to look for or find some excuse in that terms. So I would prefer in other situations more days and arrive more fresh, not just with 40 or 50 players that we have right now, but it's what it is. So I said many times, so the schedule is work. We can argue with the guys who take the decisions about the schedules and whatever, but it's no sense because nothing is going to change. So we are incredibly grateful to be here in the semi-final FA Cup. We're going to try to perform well, otherwise against Liverpool is not easy. And yeah, we're going to be there to try to do our game.
Thank you, Mike. Simon Stone.
Hiya, Pep. Hope you're okay. Just a couple of things. On Kyle, did he cause any more damage to himself by carrying on? Because it did look as though it was quite a severe injury when he went down, and then he came back onto the field.
Yeah, otherwise he would have remained on the pitch, on the field for sure. So have a big twist, and he's getting better. But we will see the process for the next hours, next days, for the next games. See, in football games, sometimes these kind of things happen. It happened this season many times for many players, and we will adapt, we adjust, and go over there.
And just in terms of, I know you're not making excuses, but how hard is it for players at this level to play Wednesday night in a big game like that, an emotional game, and then to kind of come down from that and then prepare for another big emotional game, and then you've got a league game in the middle that you can't afford to lose, then you've got other big emotional games, and you've got the semi-final. How difficult is that in practice?
A lot. That's why I would love all the managers when arriving these stages, the people consider it a regeneration for the players to be better, but it's a battle that is lost for many time. So that's why we can expect or suggest or dream to be in better conditions, but it's not going to happen because the broadcasters command absolutely when we're going to play, and we have to adapt. And this is what we are going to do tomorrow, in the past, is going to have in the future, and that's why in the meetings that we have with the managers or whatever, it's no sense. So that's why is what it is that situation. Is 3 days. We travel here to avoid direct from Madrid, to travel, Manchester, and to travel again in the bus and everything, to have the fresh legs possible, and with the incredible confidence I have. That's why I admire a lot these players for 5-6 seasons. We found in the last stages every season like this, and we go through, and we went through, and we're going to perform well. And I said to the players, I don't want any excuse. I don't want to find another situation could have been better. It's what it is, and for that we have to go there tomorrow in Wembley Stadium and try to do our game.
Thank you, Simon. Jack, go on.
When was the decision made that you were going to go to Millwall and train? Was that quite late in the day this week?
Yeah, we found another. Could not be possible because the clubs have duty. We thought if we come back to Manchester to train in there and after come back to but is exhausted. The travels to Manchester to London because always you have 45 minutes, 1 hour to the hotel, 1 hour to go to the airport, and it's a long time. We prefer to come here, and Emily and all the people in the club try to find the place closest to our hotel to come here to move to training, not to prepare the game because we don't have time to do it, and just the guys who didn't train the last 1 or 2 days take a rhythm for tomorrow, regeneration for the other ones, and all the energy for tomorrow at game time. So this was the plan.
Do you think you've got a little bit of unfinished business with the FA Cup? Because you've got to plenty of semi-finals. You've won it once. But is there a little bit of regret that you've not been able to add another FA Cup to the cabinet during
Yeah, I would have loved 5 semi-finals, reach 5 finals. We reach the 5 finals, win the all 5 finals. So this would have been my dream. But the word regret, I don't have it. Jack, we are in the press conference. I don't have any regrets for my players. Even winning or losing, they know when they're losing, how much closer I am to them. So it's not the fact. Always I had the feeling. So when you arrive now, 1 month and a half to the end of the season, we are in the position, the 2 semi-finals in the big competitions, and the other one, this season we didn't win it because after winning 4, we have to be generous to be winning for another club sometimes. So, but we are in the Premier League on top of the league, and we are in the other 2 semi-finals, their competitions. Come on, it's so great, and now we are there and said it's not enough, guys. We have to feel it's not enough. We are so satisfied about what we have done so far, but it's not enough. So try one more time, and one more time, one more game, and one more game, and we're going tomorrow to do it.
Thank you. We take a question now from Rob Dawson, please, Rob.
Hi, Pep.
Hi.
Have you ever known a season in the past where 2 such good teams have played at such a high level, and not just in the Premier League or not just in the league season, but also in the Cups and the Champions League? Obviously, you're both at the top of the league. You're both right there at the end of the FA Cup, still in the Champions League, could meet in the final. Have you known a case where in one single season, two good teams have played at such a high level all the way through?
Yeah, Real Madrid with Jose Mourinho, and 1 year it was the same. We play 4 times in 10 days in a row. So FA Cup, Champions League semi-finals, and Liga. So in Madrid we play more because we didn't play, I would say, the semi-finals. But yeah, it's the second time, like in a short time, the opponents fighting for all the titles we play together. Yeah.
And when you play a team so often like Liverpool, when you're doing your analysing them, is there anything left for you to know about them?
Yeah,
you know everything there is to know.
Yeah, of course, always you learn. When you play every time I play against Liverpool, you learn another thing. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And always you can imagine what they can do it again or get surprised you for something. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's like a playoff. So it's like in basketball, that you learn the first for the second. When you play in a short time, many times. But it was just one week ago, and now the second. And in Madrid, it was 4 times in 10 days. So that it was a real playoff to try to understand what they have done, what to do it. Yeah.
Thank you, Rob. Paul Hurst.
Hi, Pep. Could you clarify what the problem is with Kevin? Is it his ankle, and do you get the impression that he thinks he could play, for example?
No, stitches. Have stitches. They opened the scarf in the contact and had the stitches in his feet, in foot.
So it's not a muscular injury, then it's
No.
kind of.
No.
Okay. David.
Hi, Pep. Just back on the TV scheduling of the fixtures, you'll be aware that Jurgen was complaining about Liverpool's game, I think against Newcastle, being scheduled for 12:30 after they play in Europe. Is he essentially wasting his time? And is that why you don't really complain about it? Because it is what it is.
No, I prefer. Listen, I would prefer what Jurgen said. I'm completely agree with him, but I'm not going to say a word because it's not going to change. So why?
So yeah.
Why I'm going to say something that is not going to change? There's no sense, no meetings. That's why. Why? So it's what it is. So we adapt, and that's all. So I will not have time to prepare the semi-finals against Liverpool. Deserves to be prepared, but when? When? It's not possible. Okay, so there's not possible. It's the time we're going to do it. We go there. So, but I'm support 100% what Jurgen say. And he defends his club. He want more days to prepare the games. Yeah, me too. But I'm going to ask that for the. No, I did it in the past, and I think Sir Alex Ferguson. I think Arsene Wenger. I see Jose Mourinho was in Chelsea. I remember was in Barcelona. Listen, they do the same argument. How long it passed from there? How long? How many years? Yeah, a lot of time. So it's the same. So adapt. I said so. It's adapt. And it looks like I'm pretending, complaining. So I support the manager would say, okay, you have to, but it's not going to happen because between the regeneration for the players or have time to do it or broadcasters command how you're going to play, always the broadcaster will be there. So that's why when the broadcasters want a meeting, I will not be there. Do whatever you want, but I don't waste the time because I'm busy to prepare my team to doing something else. That's for sure. So that's for sure. So it's not necessary to do it. So they decide. So and that's all.
Do you think you're at a disadvantage tomorrow because
No. I didn't say anything.
No, I'll ask you that.
No. I don't say anything. I said to them, I did my argument. I'm not going to. That is what it is. I put on the table the situation. And it's going to be changed, so that's why. So no. I'm not taking advantage of that. Sometimes in the Premier League you play before, sometimes late, sometimes you have 4 days, sometimes 3. In Boxing Days, always you have teams that have 4 days, you have 2, sometimes you 4, the other 2. It's the situation. It's where it is. So not at all. So it happened. Do you know because it happened? It happened for one reason, because we are fighting for all the titles. We are not fighting for all the titles. You have long weeks, and after this argument is not a problem. And I prefer to have this argument because it means we have done during 10, 11 months, competitions fighting every single day, and that is a good news. So I'm saying that with a big smile. So it's not I'm grumpy or this kind of situation. Completely, I'm so happy to leave that. It's not the ideal situation, but how is in this world ideal situations? What happened in 2-3 hours away from here, in one country? So it's not the ideal. We know that, but tomorrow, good massage, good food. I said to the players, sleep a lot, take a nap, sleep. A lot of hours, as much hours as possible, and good food. Today was a good regeneration. You make a table massage on the pitch, watching the guys who were training, for the guys who play 2 days ago, and tomorrow at 3:30 is the final. At 3:30 we'll be there to try to win the game.
Okay, thank you everybody. See you tomorrow. Pep, this banner is just